does not want this video to be made because I have had so many obstacles in trying to film this today, including my right eye completely swelling up, and I actually had to go get like prescription eye drops for it because apparently that's a thing. Yeah, not fun. Today I'm going to share my next costume with you. Yay! So the first part of this costume is pretty obvious. Black pants. So I've got those on. Okay. The next part is I took a pair of tights and I sewed the ends and glued fake fingernails on so that it becomes hands. I cut open the middle for my head, and this will go on under my shirt. Here's the thing. When I'm wearing this, I can't touch my screens at all. Like I can, but it will not sense it. So if you're gonna do this, get a stylus. I already have this, so luckily I'll be able to use my stuff. But let's get that on. Okay, there's my arms made out of tights. Yeah, it feels really weird, honestly, to have the fingernails glued on because it's not like they're actually stuck to my actual fingernails. So if anything pushes them, like they can still move and stuff because they're just connected to the tights. But yeah, this was very difficult to make. It's already getting holes and I've only tried it on like twice. But I can go through and mend the holes. There are some runs in it, particularly around the thumbs and finger areas. But you know, I work with what I've got, and I got some gray tights, and from far away it looks really cool. I might twist it around a little more so that it's got less wrinkles. There we go. I know that you can buy professionally made ones of these. Arm socks is what they're called, but they're like super pricey. Didn't reach in my price range. I know that some of the professional ones will have a zipper here so you can take your hand out and use your devices and stuff, but for me, I'll just be using my stylus. Alright, the next part is the shirt that goes underneath, and I found a high-necked long sleeve white shirt at my local thrift store, and then I brought it home, and I also found like a blue short sleeve athletic shirt, and I cut this shape out of the front, sewed it on, and then I literally just folded it in half and made a seam down the middle, cut open the bottom, folded it over, cut off the excess, and cut the sleeves short. So yeah. Oh, and you'll notice Fredwina has an arm now. Yeah, it's still just pinned. I haven't actually sewed it yet, but this arm is not part of the costume. It is an arm I gave Fredwina because I wanted her to have at least one shoulder, since there's no shoulder here. If there was, it would look more even. Like that. Anyways, let's switch what me and Fredwina are wearing. Alright, we switched! I think Fredwina's done helping us though. Next piece is the black part that goes over this shirt, and to make that I found a black button-up shirt at my local thrift store, and I cut off the collar and I cut off the buttons and opened that up, and then I sewed those edges so that they were finished. Then I took blue fabric paint and I painted the design onto the shirt, just like so. You'll notice there's no holes for my wings because my wings don't actually connect to me. I'm not a real Skywing elf. But yeah, that's how I did that. It was really hard to get the paint to stay in straight lines. I actually did this before I did the fabric paint on the other costumes, so I hadn't realized that there was a need to use painter's tape at that point yet. That's what made me know that. But there's the shirt. The next part are the little blue spots on her pants. So to do that, I used the same blue shirt that I used for this, and I cut the sleeves off. And those sleeves end up looking like that. And then I just put those sleeves on my legs, like so. And I'll probably safety pin them up when I'm actually gonna wear this out on Halloween, but right now for a video, I think they're fine. And yes, it does feel really weird to be putting shirt sleeves on your legs. It's a little tight, but that's good because it means they're not gonna fall. So there's that part. Make sure that's nice and straight, no wrinkles. Again, I'll safety pin these up when I'm actually ready to wear them. But that would involve putting safety pins on the inside of my pants, which just feels like a hassle. Nyx has these things that go over her arms and over from her thigh to her ankle. And I looked at them forever, and I rewatched the episodes that she's in over and over and over, trying to figure out what in the world these things are, because they bend like fabric, but they shine like metal, and they've got this really cool like crissy-crossy design on them. And I could not figure it out for the life of me. I was like, I have no clue if these are supposed to be fabric or armor or what. So I decided to have my own interpretation of them. And that meant that I was going to go with the easiest route and get something pre-made. So I got really tall leg warmers and some arm warmers. I got dark gray so they would be matching in color. They have these little pom-poms on them, which I actually really like. They don't make sense with the costume, but there's no way to take them off without completely ruining them that I can see. But I'll just put those on.
And they overlap that so you don't see it. You don't see the blue wrap in the back, you only see it pop out the top like on the cartoon. Same thing on this leg.
I'll back up so you can see a little. So there's the leg warmers, and then the arm warmers. And these have holes for thumbs, but hers don't go over her thumbs, so I'm going to ignore that hole. Alright, so leg warmers and arm warmers on. You can see the costumes coming together pretty well at this point. Okay, next, the shoes. These are indoor soccer cleats that I got a couple years ago for $8, and I wore them like once, and they've sat in the back of my closet doing nothing ever since. So I took some paint and I just went ham with it. I decided to kind of follow the lines that were on the shoe instead of trying to paint the design on her shoes onto these. I haven't laced them up yet, but that's okay for a video. I want to lace them up in a way that like the laces kind of disappear, but I'll need to like follow a tutorial to do that. I'll be way back here. Okay, so there's the shoes. Got them on. Initially I just painted them with a matte light blue, but it looked really bad, so I went in with like a glossy teal that I used for the armor, for the breastplate part. But yeah, speaking of the breastplate part, that is next. So here it is. It's pretty simple. I took some craft foam from the kids section and I cut it to the right shape, and then I used my heat gun to curve it, and it was my first time using a heat gun, so I didn't get it as curved as I wanted, but I mean it's definitely got more body than it did when it was just a flat piece. I feel it's more evident on this side than it is on this side. But yeah, so I took that same teal that I used for the shoes and I painted that, and that'll go right here. But we need the next part to hold it in place. The armor part that goes on the waist. Initially when I made this, I remembered the shape, but I totally did it upside down and I made it to go like that, but then I looked at the character art again and it goes this way, but that's not a problem. So yeah, let's get that on. Okay, to make the back, what I did was just at the top and the bottom, I put hook and eyes. I was actually out of hook and eyes in my sewing kit, so I took some hook and eyes off of some clothes that didn't fit anymore, and I used those. And then that breastplate we talked about slides right in here, like so. And it's starting to actually look like Nick's. There's just a couple things missing, namely wings. If you follow me on Instagram, which is eileen.wuthrich, you will have seen the process of me making these wings a little while ago. But this was my prototype, and I had found a video of cardboard wings that you could order a template from online, but it was out of budget, so I stared really hard at the picture. No joke, that's what I did. I just stared really hard at the picture, and then I took some paper and I tried drawing the shapes, and then I took brass fasteners, and you'll see there's a lot of different holes in this where well, I guess you can't see on camera, but there's a lot of different holes in this where I was attempting to figure out where would be best to put the fasteners. So then I marked those places on the wing, and oh, you can see here I tried there and there and a couple other different places. There's also holes from when I push pinned it to the cardboard that I did make the actual wings out of, so that the template would stay in place while I traced it. But yeah, so that was my template I made, and you can see they are articulating and I am so happy with them. So let me show you the real ones. I cut them out of cardboard, I painted them brown, and then I took brown felt and I cut out 2 of each brown felt piece and glued the wings glued the felt onto the wings as symmetrically as I could. And the result are these beauties. So this one's folded up, this one's folded out. And to connect the wings, they have snaps that match up with the snaps on my back. So let's get that on. All right, I've got my wings on. There they are. I did alter the original kind of picture that I was following, because that one, when they were folded down, they were still kind of slanted out, and I wanted them to be as narrow as possible when folded down. So I did that. The other thing I forgot to mention is that in this like waist part here, in the back, I used some thick pieces of plastic that I layered in the middle to give it some more form to hold itself, because I knew the wings would be really heavy and try to bend it. And that plastic, I actually just used a baby formula case because that's what I had around since, you know, I have a son who's still drinking formula. And yeah, so I cut some rectangles from that and I put them in the back, like sandwiched into the gray fabric here. Sorry, I'm not articulating well right now. The next big part of the costume is the wig and horns. There we go. I did lose a fingernail in the process. I'll glue it back onto the tights, but you can see it's just a glob of glue right there. Yeah, make sure I didn't lose any more. Yeah, just one. So this is the wig, and I made the horns out of Crayola Model Magic, which is an air dry clay. And then I plasti dipped them. I actually didn't paint them after that because I thought the plasti dipped looked fine for horns. And I put hair clips on, which you can kind of see out the sides, but I'm fine with that. And yeah, that's the wig. I am gonna get this wig styled, but I just wanted to share the costume with you. This is a problem. There's some things to still figure out with this costume, obviously. There it is. But that's the gist of it. That's my next costume. I am planning to do body paint and all the makeup and stuff to match my hands and arms. And I will be sharing that with you in a different video. That will be a Halloween get ready with me video. I can give you a little sneak peek of what I will be using. So I have this gray body paint. It's Maron is the brand. I'll be using that for my face. And then so that I don't look like a flat zombie, I've got some gray, black, and white coloring to help with that. And then for the white lines on her face, I've got this jumbo crayon. I also thought it was funny that the makeup brand is NYX and the character is NYX. Or Naimi-Selari. Oh my gosh, I should know this. I memorized it at one point. And then I also used a NYX brand. I'll also be using a NYX brand lip stain, which is a dark teal. She has black in the show, but I didn't want to use black. And then the other thing, which I somehow forgot to put on, are my ears. And I'll be making them gray as well. And I mean, they're just little rubber ears. Silicone ears. I don't know if they're silicone. I think they're silicone. I have a few different types. You'll be seeing these in other videos. Wink, wink. Hint, hint. Stay on my ear. There we go. So yeah, I'll be painting the ears and my face gray, doing the whole makeup look. I've got some false lashes to use as well that are just Dollar Tree false lashes. I'll need to figure something out with this because it is seriously just hanging there. And I'll need to connect it somehow. So I'll probably put snaps on the back right here and here. Yeah. I just wanted to share that with you. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. And if you want to see more videos like this, subscribe. If you're already subscribed, fantastic. Ring the bell so you can know when I upload. My upload schedule is kind of all over the place. I used to do it once a week, but life is crazy sometimes and that doesn't work. Next time you see this costume in the Get Ready With Me on Halloween, it will be styled. It will be shorter and pointier. I have gone through and colored all the roots, which I had to do with a Sharpie since it is a synthetic wig. Yep. Thanks for watching. Bye. I don't know why I felt the need to put the shirt, my regular shirt on the mannequin. And so I decided to, my voice cracked.